NITYA Gojum Nityananda Mahajan. NITYA Gojum Nityananda Mahajan. Hatya Chinam Hate Jibera Karan. Hatya Chinam Hate Jibera Karan. Shraddha Bhanjan hai, Shraddha Bhanjan hai. Shraddha Bhanjan hai, Shraddha Bhanjan hai. Prabhu aagai bhai magiye bhikha. Prabhu aagai bhai magiye bhikha. Bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna koro Krishna shika. Bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna koro Krishna shika. Aparara shunna hoy loho Krishna naam. Aparara shunna hoy loho Krishna naam. Krishna mato Krishna pito Krishna dana pran. Krishna mato Krishna pito Krishna dana pran. Krishna samsara koro chariyana cham. Krishna samsara koro chariyana cham. Divedaya Krishna nam sarva dharma sham. Divedaya Krishna nam sarva dharma sham. Shraddha Bhanjan hai, Shraddha Bhanjan hai. Shraddha Bhanjan hai, Shraddha Bhanjan hai. NITYA Gojum Nityananda Mahajan. NITYA Gojum Nityananda Mahajan. Hatya Chinam Hate Jibera Karan.
Shraddhavan Namahe, Shraddhavan Namahe.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Dev, all glories to Samud Vaishnava devotees. Devotees, we thank you all for being here again. Today we have Her Grace NITYA KISHORE Devi will be speaking to us from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And of course, Mother NITYA KISHORE needs no introduction. We see her face, we hear her wisdom almost every month, at least once in a month. So, Mother NITYA KISHORE, we really appreciate your presence and accepting our invitation always. So, we may put the verse on the screen and you take it over from here. The verse is kind of detailed. I looked over it. It's a very detailed verse. Srila Prabhupada is speaking. So, Hare Krishna.
Haribol?
Hare Krishna. Haribol.
Okay, I'm here.
Yes, so we'll put the verse on the screen and
yes, I heard. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayed. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.31. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Dhyanam Parama Guhyam Me Yad Vijnana Samam Vitam Sarahasyam Tadam Gamcha Grihana Gatitam Maya. Synonymous. Shri Bhagavanuvacha, the personality of Godhead, said, Jnanam, knowledge acquired, Parama, extremely, Guhyam, confidential, me, of me, Yat, which is, Vijnana, realization, Samanvitam, coordinated, Rahasyam, with devotional service, Tat, of that, Angamcha, necessary paraphernalia, Grihana, just try to take up. Gaditam, explain. Maya, by me. Translation, by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Brahma is the topmost devotee. The personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me, as described in the scriptures, is very confidential, and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. Purport. Lord Brahma is the topmost devotee of the Lord within the universe, and therefore the personality of Godhead replied to his four principal inquiries in four important statements which are known as the original Bhagavatam in 4 verses. These were Brahma's questions. First, what are the forms of the Lord both in matter and in transcendence? 2, how are the different energies of the Lord working? 3, how does the Lord play with his different energies? How may Brahma be instructed to discharge the duty entrusted to him? The prelude to the answers is this verse under discussion, wherein the Lord informs Brahma that knowledge of him, the supreme absolute truth, as it is stated in the revealed scriptures, is very subtle and cannot be understood unless one is self-realized by the grace of the Lord. The Lord says that Brahma may take the answers as he explains them. This means that transcendental knowledge of the absolute supreme being can be known if it's made known by the Lord himself. By the mental speculation of the greatest mundane thinkers, the absolute truth cannot be understood. The mental speculators can reach up to the standard of impersonal Brahman realization, but factually, complete knowledge of transcendence is beyond the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Thus, it is called the supreme confidential wisdom. Out of many liberated souls, someone may be qualified to know the personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said by the Lord himself that out of many hundreds of thousands of people, one may try for perfection in human life, and out of many liberated souls, one may know him as he is. Therefore, the knowledge of the personality of Godhead may be attained by devotional service only. Rahasya means devotional service. Rahasya means devotional service. Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita because he found Arjuna to be a devotee and friend. Without such qualifications, one cannot enter into the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, one cannot understand the personality of Godhead unless one becomes a devotee and discharges devotional service. This mystery is love of Godhead. Therein lies the main qualification for knowing the mystery of the personality of Godhead. And to attain the stage of transcendental love of Godhead, regulative principles of devotional service must be followed. The regulative principles are called Vidhi Bhakti, or the devotional service of the Lord, and they can be practiced by a neophyte with his present senses. Such regulative principles are mainly based on hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord, and such hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord can be made possible in the association of devotees only. Lord Chaitanya therefore recommended 5 main principles for attaining perfection in the devotional service of the Lord. The first is association with devotees, hearing. Second is chanting the glories of the Lord. Third, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotee. Fourth, residing in a holy place connected with the Lord. And fifth, worshipping the deity of the Lord with devotion. Such rules and regulations are parts of devotional service. So, as requested by Lord Brahma, the personality of Godhead will explain all about the 4 questions put forward by Brahma and others also which are parts and parcels of the same questions. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyanam Janam Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Canta Radha Canta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanus Vite Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupa Bhakta Vataram Bhakta Kyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari 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 Bol. The personality of God has said, knowledge about me as described in the scripture is very confidential and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna, good evening from Mayapur. I don't know in many parts of the world you are and what time is there, but all the best. Hare Krishna, glory to Srila Prabhupada. So, Krishna himself is telling that knowledge about him is very confidential and we should take it very seriously. It only can be realized through devotional service. It's very interesting. Prabhupada is mentioned in the purport, the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says the same thing. Only through devotional service that somebody can understand me, how I am. Only through devotional service. And we can say, when we read that in the purport, what the 4 principles, what Krishna wants from us, what are the main principles to first of all, 2 very important things they're saying, Krishna Prabhupada is saying them in the purports, Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. These are the main. And I was in Brazil and a few months ago, and I went to preach in one capital city where the devotees there are having some problems with the temple, with the local temple president. He's a brahmachari for 50 years, and now he is 74 years old, 75, and he is little out of his head right now, but he has followers and he has a very conservative way of thinking and dealing with others. So devotees had so much difficulty with him. And then they decided just to stop to go to the temple, but also they stopped to meet and hearing and chanting. So because if you don't go to the temple is one thing, but then you stop devotee association, you stop the process, you stop to practice. And this is a real problem. So because this capital is so a temple is there for so many years and is an important place, I went there and then I encouraged them to meet. They told me, we are not meeting, we're not going to the temple, we don't have anybody's contact anymore. I said, get whomever is there, I'm going there. Me and my daughter, we're doing kirtan. And so they didn't have a place to meet. We met in the restaurant, a vegetarian restaurant, and there some devotees came, like 10 or 12. And now after that first meeting, after so many years, they are again doing Namahata. So they did a WhatsApp group, put everybody there, call more people, and they are meeting at least twice a month. And then after some time, it will be twice a week for hearing and chanting. I told them that whatever is happening outside, whatever is confusion or problem, this is happening, it's okay. But we miss Krishna and talking about Krishna and talk about Prabhupada and chanting. And this is very important, shouldn't be stopped. It doesn't matter the situation outside. So we can see in the purport that what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking is not so difficult to do and shouldn't be difficult because Kali Yuga is extremely difficult. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Kali Yuga Patita Pavan. He is the savior for Kali Yuga. He is the incarnation for the age of Kali. So because he is God, he knew very well what kind of problems we could face living in this world, in this era. So then he made it very simple. You see, he said, you live in the holy place. Your house can be a holy place. You have tulasi, you have deities. He said, you worship the deities. Gaura is the kind of deity that doesn't take any offense. If you forget to wake up them or offer food, they're not getting any offense. You're not paying any reaction for that. So you have Gaura, and sometimes you offer some flowers, you offer some incense, even if you cannot do it every day. If you can do it every day, great. But if you cannot, they're just there with you, just for you to remember them. Remember their lotus feet. Remember their mercy. Take shelter of them. Especially Srila Prabhupada said that you could just have Gaura as a doll and just, sell to anyone. He said, just by having Gaura in their house without doing anything, just think that Gaura is a doll, they will take a spiritual advancement. So all the acharyas, they're saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an ocean of mercy. And he has to be, what does it mean? Means the ocean of mercy. If we think carefully, instead of just saying with our lips, just because it's beautiful to say, it's cute. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the ocean of mercy. It's cute to say like that. It's so interesting and nice. But you really don't think about what you were really talking. Ocean of mercy, what does it mean? Means so much mercy for a lost cause that Kali Yuga people, Kali Yuga problems, Kali Yuga difficulties. You see the spiritual, we cannot say spiritual, but the institutions all over the world from various religions that they are trying or proposing to help people to do spiritual advancement. They have so many problems and difficulties that people are just like, they don't trust anymore. They don't want to be part. Wow, very difficult. So this is so hard, and it's very difficult for the Kali Yuga conditioned souls to make a spiritual advancement, because all the difficulties that they have around them, and bad karma, bad leaders, health problem, environment, the mind is completely agitated. So then this is so difficult. And but the process is so easy. Hearing and chanting, he's saying that will purify the consciousness. And the last class I gave here, Sahadeva had a question. He said, I'm thinking how much I should advance, and sometimes I'm thinking I'm not advancing. And then I told him, look at behind you and understand from where you came from. How was you? From where you came from? Which family? What they believed? In my case, my parents, they became Christians after I became Hare Krishna. They were not Christians. They were not going to church. When I was 9 years old, I told my mom, I want to go to church. And she said, go. So I took my best dress, a red dress, and I went to the church alone. It was a very wonderful experience. I went to the Catholic Church and they were singing for Jesus. And then I took these papers and I was singing to singing. And then there is one moment that they embrace everyone. Everyone now it's time for embracing. So they will embrace and tell things about Jesus. And I was crying. I was so happy to go to the church and see these people talking about God and praying. In my house, I had no parameter or no example about this, and I felt the call 9 years old to go to church, and then I continued. I was there. I was studying the Bible with them. I was going to the church, 9 years old. And then I moved the house. And then I couldn't go anymore. And then I was just 11, 12. And then I forgot about that. But since 9 years old, I was there going to the church. I was trying. So, Kali Yuga, we came from difficulties and then we became vegetarians, and then we even concerned about an ant that is in our kitchen that we don't want to kill them. And this is a heart transformation. But then from that, we want to see Radha Krishna dancing in our tongue in front of us. So this is a trip. This is a trip. We are on the journey for self-realization. And this is not a show. This is not a stage where you perform. It's not like that. This is a slow and surely process, but it's a process and it's a journey. So if you're not seeing Radha Krishna dancing, it's because, you're eating meat just like a few years ago. So if you're not yet there, we every morning when we wake up, we should be very, very grateful and happy that we came in contact with this incredible knowledge and with Krishna and Guru and Prabhupada and the possibility. We came in contact with the possibility to go on a journey for self-realization. 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives, 4 lives. Hypocrisy shouldn't be with us. We should be what we are, and then from that point we should practice according to the instructions of Lord Chaitanya. You have the deities as much as you can. You hear Bhagavatam, you read Bhagavatam, you chant, you try to associate with devotees as much as you can, and you go on a journey. Whatever is there for you, whatever phase is there, whatever desire, you have to solve that. Please don't forget the verse, Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti jogena yajeta purushamparam. Akama, without any desire, sarva kama, with all desires, or moksha kama, if you desire liberation, tivrena, intensely, bhakti yogena, you do bhakti yoga. Whatever is there, whatever situation is there. Don't forget that. We just have to continue. Any situation is behind us, any situation is happening to us, and any phase we are, any problem we have, we are devotees anyways. It doesn't mean that you're not devotee. It doesn't mean that you cannot do it. It doesn't mean anything. We are all spiritual souls. And then we are covered from different karma and guna. Karma and guna made this material body. Man, woman, black, white, from Canada, from Germany. This is just external. So all the contamination that we have is just external. External, it will fade. It will fade. It will disappear. We just have to continue to practice the process, whatever situation is there. And it's good to learn how to deal with this world. It's good to know how to communicate. So then we don't get in trouble and we don't get confused about relationships, about whatever is there. You acquire knowledge. You have to know how to deal with people. Acquire this knowledge by psychology, and you come to know how to lead with people, how to deal with people. You have problem with self-confidence, a huge problem, and you have a low self-esteem. Solve that problem slowly. Solve that problem. Learn how to deal with yourself. Learn how to deal with others. Learn how to communicate. And become a better human being, a civilized human being first, before you try to become a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is very, very high, elevated personality. This is the reason why sometimes we say, oh, this devotee is doing this, oh, this is so bad, this is so horrible, it has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. How can he do this? How can she do that? Man, they are not devotees. We are not yet. We are trying to be. It's a path. It's a path. So this is the reason why we act in a controversial way, in a wrong way. Because why? Because we're not there. Because if we would be there, we wouldn't do it what we are doing. We wouldn't act the way we act. So, but the good news is, we can see in the purport that Srila Prabhupada is saying that there's only 4 principles that we have to do to advance spiritually. What I heard here in Mayapur is when the disease is very difficult to cure, so the medicine is very strong. So the Maha Mantra is very strong. Maha Mantra is very strong. Shravana is very strong. The sacred places are also very strong. You know, they're able to clean thousands and thousands of years of sinful activities. We are lucky. Every day when we wake up, we should feel very lucky that we are on this path, so beautiful path. And sometimes we don't have good days. Sometimes we do some sinful things. Sometimes we're just angry. Sometimes we fight with somebody. Sometimes we offend somebody, get offended sometimes. It happens. It is life. Life is dynamic. But this is all temporary. The main thing is we are on the path. We are walking on the path of devotional service, of self-realization, of developing love to Krishna. And Krishna isn't so difficult to love. He's kind, he's merciful, he is intelligent, he is funny, he is amazing. So we have to pray that Krishna, please allow me to know you, allow me to come close to you. Or if you don't have any desire, you just say, Krishna, I don't have any desire to know you. I don't know why I don't have desire. But can you please help me to develop desire to know you better? So then I can love you. Because without knowing Krishna, we cannot love Krishna. Cannot love without knowing. You only can know people that you love. You only can love people that you know. So without Shravana, there is no love for Krishna. So if we still didn't develop the desire, intense desire to hear about Krishna, to know exactly who is him, from Gopala Champu, from Srimad Bhagavatam, in any other books, his pastimes, his house, his parents, his friends, then we didn't develop, we haven't developed yet this desire, we have to pray to develop this desire. And then maybe in the end of this life, or maybe in 10 years, or maybe next life. But it's not by faking that it will happen. Never ever by faking. We have to really, this transformation of the heart, it has to happen. And if you don't have desire to hear about Krishna and his pastimes, and his devotees' pastimes, then we have to pray for the desire. Always. Always. But if we are not honest about our real position, a real understanding, so how can you pray if we are hypocrites and we deny our positions, we deny our situation? So for understanding where I am standing, I have to be honest with myself. Can you imagine? This is much more easy than anything. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is an ocean of mercy. And Krishna has Kripa Shakti, the Shakti of mercy, Kripa. So why we are concerned? Why we are afraid? Why? We just have to be ourselves. So, what am standing? Am I having desire to know Krishna more or not? Where my desires lies? Where are them? Where they are? So you just have to recognize. So where am I? And then we pray. After knowing. You know, we pray Krishna wherever you want. It doesn't exist, this prayer. The prayer is, what do you need? You tell Krishna, what do you need? I need to learn English because I have to communicate. I have to preach, so I have to learn English. You know, when I came to live in Mayapur, I came from Brazil, Latin America, and in Brazil, there are so many religions, spiritual, but they're very conservative. And we always think that we are very bad and Krishna is the person who chastises. All devotees, they were talking in this way. So the devotees, they were saying that you never ask Krishna anything material. You cannot. This is very funny, isn't it? Because if Krishna is the only shelter, your only Lord, your only everything, and you need a house, you ask to whom? To Maya? To the boss? You need a house, you need a husband, you need a wife, you ask whom? You want to have a kid, you ask whom? You know, guys, people go to Govardhan And in Govardhan, they do parikrama and they ask for a job, anything that they need. This is the relationship that they have to Krishna. But we learn that, oh, you have to separate. You need this, you don't tell Krishna what you need. You only tell Krishna, I don't want anything, I just want your service, blah, blah, blah. But in Mayapur, they told me, if you, I told them, look, I need to learn English because I have to preach and I have to communicate, and this is the way to do this here in Mayapur. So they told me, go and ask Panchatattva. Anything you need, you tell Panchatattva. This is Mayapur. And I was, wow, I never heard that. I heard that we cannot ask anything material to Krishna, like learning English is material things for material needs. So they told me, no. And when I was going to the temple, I felt that they were singing and chanting, doing kirtan for Krishna because he's so beautiful and he's so merciful and he's so wonderful. Not because we are afraid, because maybe we die and then you go to hell and Jamadutas are coming to pick you, blah, 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 blah. They're not chanting with this mood, a different mood. It's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. Okay, so I hope I spoke the essence of the purport, and I hope you had understood what I said, and I am very grateful for the invitation. Thank you very much for your participation invitation, and if you have any question or comment, you're free to do right now.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Srimad Nitya Kishore Devi. There are many things you said in your Krishna Katha delivery that I actually experienced them in my life. And thank you so much for speaking on such themes. Because one, Srila Prabhupada was saying in the purport that this knowledge is very confidential and it's given to only two classes of people, those who are friends or devotees of Krishna. And most of us, if not all of us, cannot be friends, but the only thing we can become is to become devotees. So it's a necessity that we all become devotees if we truly want to have access to this knowledge. Now, my question is, in order for us to have devotion, there must be love. If there is no love, then our so-called devotion to Krishna will be meaningless. So the question is, do we have to have a love for Krishna before we practice devotional service? Or even if we do not have devotional service, just by practicing devotional service, the love for Krishna will come? Which is which? Nitya Kishore Devi, you are muted, please. Okay, good.
A very good comment and question. As I said, you can't love a person that you don't know. This is very practical. This is not a trip in people's head or some mental trip. It's not like that. It's a very serious thing. The same way we deal in this world with our mothers, parents, wives, husbands, boyfriend, girlfriend, lovers, this is the same way, is the same feeling that we have for Krishna. Attraction, think about it, admiring, remembering, is the same. So when we see the sun, or we see the clouds, or the day, or a grain, or a flower, like this. I have flowers here, orchids. A flower like this, so beautiful combination. And we can see that the artist behind that, the creation of everything, the combination of everything is the Lord. There is no possibility for a person to have love for Krishna without knowing Krishna. And you can't say that without knowing Krishna Lila, or his names, or his devotees, or his activities, you have love for Krishna. You can't say. But devotional service start with hearing and chanting. Actually, in the purport, it's not talking about cutting subject, cleaning the temple, doing blah, 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 book distribution. It's not talking. It's talking about Shravana and Kirtan. It's talking about that. And hearing means hearing about Krishna and Krishna devotees. So by hearing, you come to know. And by knowing, you meditate or remembering Shravanam, Kirtan, Smaranam, Vandanam, praying. So these are the 9 processes. It starts with Shravana, Kirtan, Smaranam, Vandanam of devotional service, explained by Prahlada Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is a science, and it works like that. So the proof that we don't have love of God is that we are in the material world. So you just cannot come and then you say, I love Krishna, but actually you don't know who is he. And you just started, so what's the possibility? We are thinking that is too transcendental, too different, too blah, blah, blah. It's not like that. Especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave an example. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave an example that I was find very interesting. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was dreaming with Krishna. Actually, I think this pastime was the pastime that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dreaming that he was in Jamuna having pastimes with Krishna and the gopis, and they were throwing water at each other. So there is a very beautiful place. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became unconscious. But meanwhile he was unconscious, he was inside the pastime. But then the devotees, they got scared. What is happening? He's not waking up, he's unconscious. So they start to call and clap and then chanting for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come back because he was unconscious. So when he came back to the body, he was, why you called me? I feel like a man that had a very valuable jewelry, and he lost this jewelry. His feeling, he is the feelings of I'm that person. Because if you analyze, it's just like you possess a gem, a very valuable gem or jewelry, and then you think about that. You can wear that, you can sell that, and then it's a lot of money and then with this money you can buy stuff. Like you have many plans to these things, and you love these things, and maybe somebody gave you, somebody that's important, or maybe belongs to the family. So you're very attached to this, and you have plans with this, and then all of a sudden somebody steals this from you. So then you have that feeling of loss, a very deep feeling of loss. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this example in Chaitanya Charitamrita to explain how he was feeling when the devotees called him and he had to leave the pastime. He was feeling a great loss. So he was comparing to a so-called, that we think, material feeling, but actually the feelings are the same. What you feel is the same. So instead of feel so much emotion for a partner in the material world, that will be revert, to Krishna, the attachment, the anxiety, the love, the thinking, the admiration. But the same way, it happens the same way. Why you love your girlfriend, your love affair, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend? Why? Because you know them. You attract to them, to their beauty, and then you come to know them, and then the love become more intense when you know their qualities, their activities, their values, you know, their sense of humor, humor, blah blah blah, and then it changes. It increases. So the same way with Krishna. Nothing like it's nothing very, very completely crazy different. If you go to Bhagavatam 10th canto, then you can read that the Krishna's activities and the queens. It's very much alike what our feelings are, you know. But what we have to understand that by love Krishna, we will be free from material entanglement. And material entanglement, it's a problem. So Prabhupada said, you have this problem, that problem, that problem. The problem is that you have a material body and you have the material world. This is the problem. So who wants to be here with all these problems, with all these difficulties? So we have to leave the samsara. And one way to leave the samsara is to develop love for Krishna and live with him. But you have to know him. But let's suppose that we don't have attraction yet to learn about his pastimes. But then we start from the very beginning, like Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second canto, and then you go up, you know. But you must have a goal. What's the goal? I want to know Krishna, because if I know him, I can love him. Is this answer your question or not?
Yeah, I think it does. If I understood you well, you're saying that, of course, we need to have love to serve Krishna, and in order for us to have love for Krishna, we should know Krishna. So we may not know Krishna, but by performing devotional service, which begins with hearing of Krishna and his devotees, hearing about the qualities of Krishna.
Devotional, you know, the point is, when we speak devotional service, we're thinking, I am making flowers, making garlands for the deities, I'm cleaning the temple, and then the temple president told me to do this and this and that. But listen very carefully. Shravanam,
yeah,
and Kirtan.
yeah.
We are, how can I say, we are convinced to believe there is something else. The holy name, it's the main is the essence of everything. So then, in order to know Krishna, you have to hear about Krishna. You have to know Krishna in order to love Krishna. So that's the essence of your question. When we refer to devotional service, we're thinking that I'm going to the temple every Sunday and then I cut potatoes. No, you are helping in your church. You like that church, and you like temple, church, all the same name. You like that church, and then they have a program there for the benefit of others. You go there, you cut some sabji, okay, nice, cut some potato, you give some donation, very nice. Devotional service mainly is Shravan and Kirtan. You don't listen about Krishna, you cut potatoes, you clean, it's okay. But if you forget to listen about Krishna, then it's not complete. You know, this is very important. This is a very important point. Important.
So, well, thank you for highlighting that, because that's where I was coming from, that the most important thing is hearing, because the more we hear about Krishna and we read about him in the scriptures. Now, Krishna was telling Lord Brahma that this knowledge is very confidential. And Lord Krishna said the same thing to Arjun. I think you said that in your delivery, that Krishna said the same thing to Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita. Now, this confidential knowledge is found in the books, in the literatures, in the scriptures, which Prabhupada has so kindly given to the entire world. And we're giving these literatures to people who sometimes are even envious of Krishna. And Krishna said that this knowledge should not be shared with those who are envious of me. So what are we doing? Are we going against Krishna's instructions, or we are serving Krishna by giving Krishna consciousness to anybody and everybody that comes our way? You are muted, NITYA KISHORE DEVI. Okay.
I don't think we should push anybody to hear about what they don't want. This is the reason why Srila Prabhupada said that Krishna consciousness will be spread as a culture, because like kirtan or exhibition or art and music and drama, everybody loves. So first, we have to attract people with that; they'll be attracted, and then we can go further if they want to go further. We can't push anyone, but this is what we learned. We learned to push people to do things that actually are not ready to accept or do. I was in Brazil and I was preaching in one hotel, and then I was talking about karma, destiny, and free will. And I asked people, do you know Bhagavad Gita? And then most of the people there, some of them, they never heard about it, and many of them, they never read. So then you go there, and then you start to talk about the Maha Mantra and how you can be karma free by chanting the names of Krishna, because Krishna. So then in the end, you get nothing. You get nothing, because people, they just dismiss you because you're just nuts, like what you're saying. So I was thinking many times why the Buddhists, why they have so many followers, and our message cannot touch people. And I was analyzing, and I saw that the Buddhists, they talk about things that is happening in the day by day of the people, how to deal with life and situations. So then some of these people, they are attracted to hear about solutions for material problems. Some of them will develop in be interested in transcendence. And when I went to that place, when they didn't know about Bhagavad Gita, and I was speaking based on Bhagavad Gita, the first thing I did was setting the authority of Bhagavad Gita first. Why Bhagavad Gita is an spiritual authority. Why by reading Bhagavad Gita, knowing Bhagavad Gita, you can really advance and understand spirituality. So this is what I did. So I got many people interested in many places that I went to buy and read Bhagavad Gita. Like after my talk, they were just coming to the temple and say, can I have Bhagavad Gita? And take the Bhagavad Gita first. You take Bhagavad Gita, you read Bhagavad Gita, you understand what Krishna is saying. Like forcing or pushing, like communication means to whom I am talking. What's the level of interest that person? You make questions to them. You come to know their level, and then you talk to them in their level. Then they'll be there with you. Or otherwise, they don't understand what you are talking. It has to make sense for them. Well, this is the not only me, but many of devotees and authorities and preachers, they are they are bringing the preaching to that level, of mutual understanding. Is that clear?
Yes, it is. Yeah, thank you for the explanation. It helps a lot. Yes.
Thank
Madhavan Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna, Mother. You are welcome again to this platform. I always find your lecture very, very interesting. Just about the last answer you gave, or about the last question. I believe we have to be a bit careful how we present Krishna so that people won't blaspheme. Just like you explained, we have to take them gradually to the level, just to avoid blasphemy. Then my real concern, when you started your lecture, the situation you described when people decide not to come to the temple again, just because the temple president, they were not compatible. In my own situation, I always try to avoid a situation whereby I won't be able to come to the temple. I will tolerate anything that will prevent me from not being able to come to the temple. So I'm just, since you mentioned the situation, I start pondering. So who is not tolerant? Is it even if the temple president is not tolerant, it's an elderly person. And being an elderly person, the rest of them should have tolerated him. Because when you decide not to come to the temple, you stop the process, and it doesn't all go well for anybody. So I just feel very bad about the situation, but I'm happy you intervened. But you have to encourage them going back to the temple. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Okay, thank you. Sahadev, can you please tell the question?
Yeah, actually, it was more or less a comment. He was talking about himself, that personally, that I see himself, Madhavan Prabhu, he always tries to avoid anything that will prevent him from going to the temple. And so he narrated the pastime you shared with us about this elderly devotee in one of the temples in Brazil, who is like 74, 75 years old, who has been a brahmachari for about 50 years. And because he's kind of conservative devotee, he was having issues with the congregation, and the congregation, lots of them stopped going to the temple. Till you went in with your daughter and encouraged them, they started going back to the temple. So he was applauding you for making that a possibility, that the devotees could go back and associate with the temple president and also go to the temple. But he was saying that for us as devotees, we should always make it a point that whatever will prevent us from going to the temple, we avoid it. So if even the elderly devotee is very conservative, the devotees should still find a way possible so that they can go to the temple. And he was applauding you for making that a possibility. That's what he was saying.
Okay, I'd like to clarify some misunderstanding. Actually, I'm not in favor for them to go back to the temple. Although they went back to the temple, they went back to visit sometimes, and they were happy there because they understood that ISKCON or Parampara is not represented by that person. Actually, I didn't advise them to go back to the temple. I advised them to meet for Shravana Kirtan because they have to do it. It's very important to do Shravana Kirtan. They can do in the restaurant, in their houses. They should meet regularly for Krishna Katha and Bhagavad Gita. This is what I encourage them. And also, I open their minds about that person. I told them this is the situation of that person, but that person doesn't represent what our parampara is. So I think because of that comment, and because they feel happy and they feel like encouraged, they went back to the temple. But the mentality was different. Like, I have nothing to do with this person. I'm here to pay obeisance to Gaura-Nitai, to chant japa, to see Prabhupada. And I won't be disturbed by his behavior. But I want to say that if you go to the temple and something is weird is happening, and you are disturbed by the behavior, or if you feel this is a toxic environment, don't go. Don't go. Go where you feel appreciated, go where you feel encouraged, and make programs in your house, worshiping your deities, and avoid, toxic environment. This is very important. Otherwise, you just accumulate bad experiences, and then you associate the bad experience with the process, with Krishna, with the books, because this is, you cannot avoid that. You're just a human. You can't avoid. So if you always associate bad experience and bad feelings to the process, you will be very, very soon, you leave the process.
Yeah.
So don't go to toxic environments unless you completely detached. But sometimes we are thinking that is not affecting us, but actually is affecting. So be careful with that too. It's a trap.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the clarification, NITYA, KISHORE, DEVI. And for some people, they may be wondering, why would anybody say avoid Krishna temple? But it is a fact that wherever the situation is, we follow things because we follow truth. We do not follow people. We do not follow places just for the sake of the person or for the place, but because what we are following is the truth. So if we're going to a particular place called a temple and the truth is not found there, then we better think twice. So thank you. Anadi Nidanam Prabhu, please you may unmute.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, in the course of mother's delivery, she made mention that when she was in Mayapur for the first time, she desired to preach, but for that, she need to learn English.
Yeah.
And she was asked to go and pray to Pancha Tattva. So my question is that desire of her, is it material? Because Krishna is at the center of that desire. So is it a material desire?
Okay.
Because as she said that, oftentimes she hears that we don't ask Krishna anything material. But this she need it in order to be able to serve Krishna. So that is where she was asked to go and pray to Pancha Tattva.
Yeah.
So my question here is, that desire, is it still material? I would like to know.
NITYA, KISHORE, I hope you got the question.
Yes, I got because the microphone it was a problem with Madhuvan, this microphone. Thank you for the question. Very, very beautiful, very intelligent question. Why we think in Brazil or maybe South America, the whole South America, we got instructed that's something material because, they consider what is a mistake, that only things connect directly with deed to worship and cleaning the temple and distributing books and these activities they consider devotional service, or there's no material desire involved when you do that. But nowadays, that time I was thinking completely different. Nowadays I understand that even, let's suppose that you are devotee, you have a family, and you are a man, and you have to work. And for your work to be better, to be more comfortable, you have to learn English or go to university. So nowadays, me and other parents and devotees who are seniors, they're in this many, many years, they're saying what is correct, that take care of your family is your devotional service. So if you have to learn English or go to get a degree for taking care of your family, you can ask Panchatattva the same. In my case, that time preaching was involved. In my case, but this is not what they said. They told me. They told me whatever I need, I should ask Panchatattva for anything. Whatever I need. If I need a house to live, I just say, Krishna, I'm not asking you for a house, but if you want to give me the house, no. Like, Krishna, please, I need visa. I need a house. Can you please help? But this for me was a big game changer, because in Brazil we learned that you never can do that. You only pray to Krishna for giving you service or love for him. You need a house, is your problem. You need to learn English, is your problem. You need money, is your problem. So, but I felt that what I learned in Mayapur made much more sense, like including Krishna in everything you need. And then the verse, Akama Sarva Kamo Va Moksha Kamo Dharati, this verse is a proof of that. You have desire, no desire, you are Krishna devotee. Your desire with him, not nobody else. You ask him. You talk to him, whatever you need, for anything you need. You make Krishna part of your life. You remember him. And when you say, Krishna, I don't want anything, is not superficially. It's because you really don't want anything. Like Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, his story everybody knows. This is a very heart-touching story of a boy who was humiliated and rejected by the stepmother, who was the favorite of the king. Can you imagine? She was younger, she was beautiful, and she was controlling the king. This is what happened. Suniti, Suruchi. So Suruchi, she didn't like him. Oh, this boy. And then he felt humiliated. And he told her mom. And then she said, talk to Narayan. And then he went there for what? For asking, I want my rights to be respected. I got humiliated. I came here to do a complaint. I want to talk to you. But then when he saw Krishna, and then he said, wow, this is much better than what I was thinking. And I don't want what I wanted anymore, because this is you. I want you. You are the thing. I want to be with you. Let me come with you. It was a very deep, serious desire. Couldn't be different. Krishna just wants this. I want my position. But he was amazed, really amazed, This is not what was supposed to happen. This is what happens with Dhruva Maharaj's heart that time. He really felt, look, this thing I wanted is nothing. He said, they're like garbage, they're glasses. I don't want anymore. I want you. This is what happened. And this was for real. This is for real. This is not like a story or what's supposed to happen, supposed to do, supposed to say. We're not supposed to anything. What happened is happening in your heart, and that's it. You know, Jayapataka Maharaj said many of us are going to Vaikuntha. Many of us. And Srila Prabhupada said that Jayananda was going to the celestial, to the heavenly planets. And from there, he was going to Krishna. Jayananda, the creator of the temple. Yeah, Jagannath Rath Yatrakar. Srila Prabhupada made this comment about him. So I think we are attached, and we are not, how can I say, like understanding ourselves, the position that we are, and we are dreaming with something that's not feasible for us. Dreaming, it's just a dreaming, just a dream. So we have to understand, okay, where we are, what I need to reach there. This is Banu Swami. He speaks like this. Banu Maharaj. Okay, next question.
Well,
Okay, yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, yes. I would like to thank you very much. So, but I have another question, and this have to do with the crisis that we are facing. So, I would like to know, why is it that as a spiritual organization, we are facing leadership crisis all over? Is it as a spiritual organization we are neglecting something? I would like to know of her view on this. Because I thought it's only in Africa, but here is the case, a whole temple had to be closed down because of the leader. So why is this thing, even though
Okay, I think she got
we
your
have so many knowledge spiritually? Hare Krishna.
yeah. Madam NITYA KISHORE, he's asking why there seem to be a leadership problem in our movement, even though we have so much knowledge as to what to do and how to do things. Yeah.
He said spiritual organization. Let's start from there. That's a wrong statement. A spiritual organization. You can say that the mission, the philosophy, they are separate things, huh? ISKCON adopted something that already existed for 5,000 years. Okay? Means that Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, even Srila Prabhupada's teachings, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they don't belong to ISKCON. ISKCON use this, but they don't belong. They existed before. So you can say that this institution, ISKCON, wanted to represent that philosophy. Wanted. This is their desire. But you cannot say that the organization is spiritual. What is spiritual is the holy name, is the knowledge, spiritual knowledge, the acharyas, the process. This is spiritual. You're talking about management. Management is material. Means resources, money. Resources means money. People, processes, processes, systems, bank accounts, property, documents, blah, 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 blah. All this is material. And then when you come to material things, you can say, for example, I can say to you, I am MBA in human resources and I did marketing. So I'm a marketing strategist. So you can say there are so many organizations in the world. Some of them, they are from the slum. And then in the slum, they have the rules. Who lives, who dies, how, when, what they do. They have their own rules. This is a criminal organization, okay? And then you have mafias, and then you have alcohol, prostitution, all kinds of organizations that they have their rules. And you also have organizations in the material world that they have values, ethics, they're for the good of people. So what ISKCON needs is a set of values, ethics, and processes that are honest, transparent, objective, and they put people in the center, and they respect the children, they respect the women, and they have qualified people first to be a leader. Because you're telling how the leader is doing this, doing that, or this is spiritual. Okay, so of course he is not up to the position. And when you're talking about spiritual understanding, of course he doesn't have spiritual understanding. It's like Prabhupada, that somebody told Prabhupada, fake guru or fallen guru or something like that. Prabhupada said, if he's fake or fallen, he's not a guru. First of all. So what we do, we tell people as Vaishnavas, but they're not there at all. So at least ISKCON has to change the way they give positions to leaders, by analyzing them, by putting them, by checking the recommendations curriculum, like any other organizations. So ISKCON is not organized enough. Very simple like that. You analyze that, not with so many transcendental, try to understand philosophy, blah, blah, blah. This is so simple. The person is unqualified in all respects. First, the person is unqualified materially. Then spiritually, maybe very low understanding about what does it mean be a spiritual person. Okay? Very simple.
Yeah.
Simple. There is nothing transcendental or so mystical or why, my God, spiritual organization. No. A normal institution with normal material, old problems. Okay?
Thank you. We go to Dr. Hassan, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna. Mother, please kindly accept my humble respect of essences. All glory to Gurudev, all glory to Sri Prabhupada, and all glory to you, and all glory to the assembled devotees. Thank you so much for the beautiful class. There's one thing I remember you always. Tapasya Kunde. I want to go there.
Tapasya Kunde.
Yes, I record that in my mind, that always when I have the chance, I want to go there too and have that experience.
It's the real thing.
Yes, Mother, I have two questions. And the first one is about desire. You are saying something about when you have something material, have to ask for Krishna, and this come here comes this question in my mind. I have the chance to visit, I would say my fathers or my senior devotees, their houses. And every time I visit their houses, I have this experience. There's kind of a very beautiful and special energy in their house. And I realized that because of the beautiful temples, the altars they have in their house. I say the altars. The altars are so beautiful and it's very, very attractive. And what my question based on this one is that, so for instance, if one has to ask Krishna for a house, that the person specifically has to ask for the house to live or to have the house so that he can have a very special altar to serve Krishna. What is that has to be like? Oh Krishna, I want you to give me a house to live, or it has to come with that. Oh Krishna, I want to have a house to live and have a beautiful altar so that I can worship you. And my second question is, okay, please can you answer this one so that I can?
Yeah, it's better.
Question, yes.
Better. Very good question. Thank you for the question. Yes, this confusion is there in our heart because somehow or other we believe that we don't deserve things, and this is not a good feeling. I don't know why we put this in our hearts, in our minds, because we hear that and we think we are undeserved. We don't deserve a good life. We don't deserve happiness, good wives, good husbands, good life, happiness. We are thinking all the time that when we are happy and we are thinking that is separate from Krishna because this is not a kirtan. Maybe I'm in a house watching some movie or eating some lasagna and I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Krishna is the source of the creativity in the cinema. Krishna is the source of the tomato sauce. Krishna is the source of somebody who one day made the recipe of the lasagna. And if this is vegetarian, so offer to Krishna, this is service. Remembering Krishna is service. One devotee is always one devotee. Yes, and devotee deserves to have a beautiful house. And when they have a beautiful house, they remember, normal people, when they're grateful, when they have a beautiful house, when they earn like somebody is an actor or actress, and then they win an Oscar, and then they go there, what they do? They thank people who help them to win that reward. Yes or not?
Yes,
So,
yes.
a devotee of Krishna, wherever he achieves, she or he or she always will thank Krishna first. That remembrance is called smaranam. And smaranam is a process of devotional service. Of course, we have altars in our houses, and they are clean. We like to call devotees to come and have program, but this is not. Krishna also wants us to be comfortable. He also wants us to be happy. Why we have to be in distress or suffering? So then we are not enjoying the material world, and then this is the proof that we are proving. So we are proving to our society and community members that we are not sense enjoyers. We just think about Krishna, and this is the reason why we are suffering all the time, because we are not enjoying the material world. This is BS. In Mayapur, so many people have very good houses with AC, very calm, very quiet, with good prasada all the time. They live in peace. Whatever you have is from past lives. You deserve it. This is very funny. This is extremely funny. Because whatever you get in this lifetime, suffering or happiness, it comes from past lives.
Mm.
Bad or good things that you, so you ugly, bad karma. You beautiful, good karma. You rich, good karma. You poor and struggling, bad karma. And all this comes from past lives. We don't know what we did exactly, but some sinful activities, some good things we do. So then in this lifetime, everybody, all karmic devotees, jnanis, blah, 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 are getting the results of past lives activities. Then what happened? The devotees of Krishna in ISKCON movement, when they get bad karma reaction, and then they think they deserve. I deserve it. I'm sinful. I am bad. I'm fallen. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Bad karma reaction. When the reaction is good, because good things they did in the past, they are beautiful, they have money, they have a good house, a good car, they have a house, they have money in the bank, they have a good wife, beautiful husband, blah, 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 blah. And they think, oh, I don't deserve that. So they are thinking for some reason, so crazy reason, that they deserve the bad that they did. This is, oh, I deserve everything bad. Because I'm bad, I deserve the bad. When things are good for them, oh, because, I don't deserve. Sometimes they really reject their good things, their money, because, oh, this is just, I don't deserve it. What is this? What is this? This is crazy. This is a misunderstanding and bad application of the knowledge, of the spiritual knowledge. It's a misunderstanding. In India, there is no such thing. Some devotees are very rich, and so what? They have their friends, they have their relatives, and also they give donation, they have their cars, they have their facilities, many apartments. Nobody cares. Nobody's in confusion. And some people are very poor, struggling for life, sickness, somebody dies in the family, blah, blah, blah. They know this is past lives. The point is, those who are struggling and those who are rich, both are devotees. Both can be. Maybe you have a good life in this lifetime, maybe you don't. It comes from past lives. Maybe you have so much facility, maybe you don't have facility. In both cases, both of them are devotees. And one thank for how he can overcome the struggling, and then the other thank because they have so much facility, and they use some of facility to serve Krishna. And some of them, they work for more money. I know very good devotees here, they're so nice. And they work a lot. They go to the temple sometimes, very good devotees, chant sometimes, and they're working, and they do business, and they make apartments and sell to the devotees. They're happy. Nobody condemn them or judge them, So this is a misapplication. We have to understand that, but I'm not the only one speaking like that. There are so many devotees, even NITYA Prabhu and other leaders, we are cleaning up many misunderstanding, So one devotee, he's very nice. He did PhD in Kirtan in Canada. Yes, no, really, an amazing presentation about Kirtan in every religion. So very beautiful, amazing. He did that. He's very amazing devotee. He has a very beautiful family. He's so happy. His wife is Indian. He's from Brazil. They were living in Canada. Now they are here. They do so many things. His classes are amazing. He said, do you think stay at home with your kids and kiss them and embrace them and worship the deities in your house is a Maya, and you only Krishna consciousness when you go to the temple and pay obedience to the deity? Otherwise, this your family is Maya. But in the temple, when you go there and pay obeisance, then your devotional service. When you are in your house, treat nicely your wife, kissing your kids, play with them, love them. This is Maya. You're attached to the material body. What is this? This is crazy. Of course not. You serve your family. This is your devotional service. Prabhupada said that when he corrected that Mataji in France, that she said, no, I'm so busy, I prefer to worship the deity and I'll give away my son. And Prabhupada said, what? Your son is your deity, he said. What does it mean? What does it mean? It's a very important instruction that you have to worship and adore and take care with your son right now. Forget about the rest. Be happy, be a mother. And this is so seriously important, because if I am a mother of a kid and then I treat the kid as if the kid was an obstacle to my devotional service, what will happen with the kid?
Mm-hmm.
If this kid is big, as an adult, what will happen to this kid? But if this kid is growing up and, an environment where he's loved and accepted and celebrated, how that kid will be? He'll never leave Krishna. He'll never leave you and never leave Krishna, always happy. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much for the beautiful answer. Thank you so much. And my second question is, I heard some times ago that pure devotees, they don't care what they go, even they will go to hell or whatever they will go. But my question is, when I hear the things which may happen in the future, the difficulties which will come and so on, because in my old faith, there's something which they used to say that God said that there will time to come, you have to pray that you are not here, because the things that is going to happen, we are not going to stand them. And when I come to Krishna consciousness, I hear very, very deep about that, even a time will come that there will not be food to eat. People will just want to have babies so that they can kill them to eat. So me, for instance, I'm not so qualified. I don't know. I know very little in Krishna consciousness, but in my heart, always I pray that when I leave this body, I don't want to come back. So, is it the right thing to pray this way to Krishna, or I have to pray to Krishna that do whatever you want to do with me? This is my question.
Okay, thank you. Listen very carefully. When the pure devotees are saying that wherever I go, I don't mind, this is their prayer. It's particular, it's individual, and it's real. It's not what they are supposed to say or feel. That should be very, very clear. So if your desire is just like what you feel right now, it can change. But if you're feeling, look, my God, this world is so crazy. I don't want to be here. I don't want to come back here. You feel like that. I also feel like that many times when I see, what is this? I feel like, my God, I want to get out. This is a very good desire, actually. We go step by step and desire to be liberated. Can you imagine? It's a great thing. It's very, very great. It means the spiritual knowledge really affect your thoughts. So many people, they really They don't know about that. They don't care about that, you know. But somebody's thinking, my God, if there's a possibility for me to get out from here, I want to get out. Jananivas Prabhu, many times in his class, he told the devotees, don't tell that you want to be here to serve Krishna. Don't do that. If you have a chance to leave this world and go to Krishna, go. You know, don't say that I want to be here to serve. And what you said about the devotees, pure devotees, they don't mind where they go, is because they are seeing Krishna everywhere. They are with Krishna all the time already. It doesn't happen actually when, this is Radhanath Swami said. He said, actually, your changing of life or feelings or seeing Krishna, everything, it happens before you leave the body. It's not like that you're feeling something, you're seeing something, and then when some magic happens when you leave the body and then you change, blah, blah, blah. No. It's not like that. If you have to, that love or approach or seek Krishna, it will happen before you leave the body. Before. If it doesn't happen, it's because it's going to next life. And as I said in the beginning, it's a journey, and we have to be very happy that we are in this path. Every day or every time we have to think that we are on the path of self-realization, because this is a very big achievement, just to be on the path and just to slowly develop the desire to leave the material samsara, you know, although maybe so many things happen, you know, up and downs, and we just go. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
A pleasure.
Thank you so much, NITYA, KISHORE, Devi, for spending this much time with us and sharing this deep knowledge and wisdom with us all. I think we may have to bring the class to a close, so you may have to go and take rest. It's quite late, your time.
Yes, it's 10 p.m.
Yes, 10 p.m., yes. Yeah.
10.
Yeah. Dear devotees, please, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, Her Grace NITYA KISHORE Devi, for sharing her love and wisdom with us today. Jai, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare. Pancha kalpa taribhyascha kripa sindhibhya evacha Pitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. All glories to Her Grace NITYA KISHORE Devi Ki Jai.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Jai
Hare.
Shri Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very, very much. It was a pleasure to be with you again, and see you soon.
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga Jai.